Welcome back to another episode of the Staying Professional Podcast. Today is Monday. We're starting off the week strong with a podcast with my man Randall over here. First, I'm going to talk about the stock market. This shit is absolutely ridiculous, man. I mean, like, the thing is supposed to be a green day today and just went straight red. I'm about over it. I'm ready to just say, forget this year, keep my money long, and try again next year. The Knicks lost to the Nets yesterday. As painful as it is to be a Knicks fan, I still watch the games. I don't know why. My wife yesterday was like, you should really think about rooting for another team. I'm like, what are you, crazy? I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a loyal fan. I'm good with my team. But anyways, all right, we got my man Randall here with me. Randall, what's going on? Straight from LA on FaceTime on the Staying Professional Podcast, bro.
What up, bro?
What up, bro? What is going on out there in LA?
Man, it's a beautiful day in LA. Gas prices are surging. It's about $6.26 a gallon out here.
$6.26 a gallon, bro.
Now, that's only in some places, because how LA works, they got rich areas, they got regular areas, and they got some hood areas. So you go from about $5.55 to about $6.25, $6.60 I've seen in like Beverly Hills or whatnot. Out here gouging, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I can imagine in the state of California.
But let's tell them why the gas prices are high without going into too much detail.
All right, you want me to tell them, or you want you to tell them? Did you do your little research on it?
I did a little research, but you had the 2-minute spiel that covered everything.
All right,
I think the listeners should know.
This is just my broography on this whole thing, bro. This is my bro opinion on this thing right here. So I did a little research, and the main transport of gas is trains. Still here in the United States. So my man Warren Buffett owns 90-something% of all the railroads in the United States of America. This is what I read. I could be wrong. I could be speaking bullshit, but this is what I've read. This is the facts that I've read. He is also the number one donator of the Democratic Party. Okay? First thing a Democrat does when he gets in office is shut down the pipeline. The pipeline was supposed to transport fuel from Canada into the U.S., just flowing the fuel in. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, it's shut down because Warren Buffett was set to lose billions, and now he's made already billions this year. So that's just my philosophy on it. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
Yeah, I don't think the apple falls too far from the rich tree in America. You know what I mean? And it's been that way for years and ages, and even with the binary shift of the dollar bill to the cryptocurrency, they're trying to decentralize everything, which is even crazier for rich people because we thought we couldn't regulate them before. Now it's going to be even worse because you know how it works with the blockchains and all that. You can't after one or two moves you can't really find the transaction or whatever. You know what I mean? So these people, and then they can control the market a lot more because it's so small right now. You know what I mean? So let's say Bitcoin. Let's say all right, everyone was staked in at like 10K. They drive it up to about 40K. All right, they tell their little friends, sell everything off. Now plummets again, do it again, plummets again, do it again. You know what I'm saying? But there's only an inside circle for those things, And it's like if you're not in, you might still be able to make some money off it, but you're always going to get the crumbs. You're never going to get the cookie. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I think that's the way the United States has been for ever, And what the word government means, when you break it down into the Latin root words, mind, control. It's that simple. Govern is to control. Mint is the mind.
I never knew that. Never knew that.
Be that what you want, And I don't know if you know what Siri is backwards. It's Iris. IRIS. The I.
The I. The Illuminati.
Right, though? Siri. Spell it backwards. IRIS. Iris. I. It's I. It's watching you.
It's crazy. Yeah, I is also on the dollar. In God we trust. What God are they talking about? I don't know.
That we don't know. Let's not go too far.
Let's not go too deep in the Illuminati before my podcast gets killed before it even starts. I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't want nothing to do with the Illuminati, bro. I don't want nothing to do with the Illuminati.
Nothing.
But the gas prices is just crazy, right? Because it's a war going on between Russia and Ukraine. Yet, we only get 3% of our oil from Russia. But I guess, because I looked it up because I was confused about it. Oil is a world market. So the oil prices are the oil prices for the world. Nobody's getting a shakedown or a discount here. And I'm sure there is underneath the table shit. But as far as the market goes, the barrel of oil is a certain price for the whole world. And that's the way it is.
Yep.
So, anyways, let's get off this political talk real quick, and let's get into you, bro. Let's get into you. Now, I know, we go way back from Deltona, from high school, and you decided to make a move out to LA, man. You've been out there a couple years now. Randalldiditt. You're doing your thing, engineering. So, just give us a rundown. Give us a rundown on how you got out there and things you're doing.
Man, so like you said, man, came from Deltona. I had a little studio out in Longwood with a partner, and then that didn't end up going well. So I got another partner in Deltona by the name of Audi. He was an artist. He had his own studio down here too. He needed an engineer. He just came off a really bad accident, like he was in a wheelchair for like his whole right side was broken and shit. So like he had to restart too. So we're like, man, this is perfect. We started working, whatever. Then we realized, like, man, we got to make a move because this is cool, but it's like not really. It's just like a cap. You know what I'm saying? So he started doing research, found an apartment, found this little weed dispensary jobs. So as soon as we was out there, we boom, right to work, right to music, and then it was renting out studios. Then that got really expensive, so he decided to put a nice chunk into making our own studio. And then when that happened, we've had that for about 3 years. We had a hub where we could just invite people and just kind of, do what we needed to do and make plays like that, like invite 4 different people from different things to try to make one thing, and that's how a lot of stuff happened, was through other people and just like community and camaraderie and stuff like that. And there's a lot of LA Hollywood horror stories, man. I've never ever once had one weird scenario happen, one bad situation. It's just the worst thing I've had happen is someone pay late. You know what I'm saying? And it's like all that stigma is weird to me. And it's like I think if you're that type of person, that stuff will find you. But I think if you're just normal and like you're just trying to go do what you got to do, and things will happen good for you. Not to get too long-winded on that topic, but that's kind of like the little story of how we went from Deltona to LA, and then been sustainable, got some decent credits now. Still trying to climb the ladder, man. Feels close though. Feels like, I have a couple of decent records, a couple that did a few million, but it doesn't feel like it's yet, real close though. But, it's just a lot going on. It's been fun. It's been a ride. It's been stressful, life-changing. I've worked with, the guy who wrote Rihanna's Disturbia, Chris Brown Wet the Bed. Like, that's my homie. He come over for Christmas. We exchange gifts, cook, drink, eat, smoke. He's telling me stories about how he's the guy who met Chris Brown and Rihanna together. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the one that put them together to meet. You know what I'm saying? Crazy stuff, like lots of stories like that. But, I don't want to sit here and go crazy on your podcast about the stories, but that could be me and you having some drinks and you get the exclusives, you know what I mean?
Speaking of exclusives, come on, man. You gotta let them know a professional exclusive right here, man.
Oh, yeah. So I'm working on with my man J.O. from Deltona. We're working on this record with 24 Hours and Little Baby. We started the little public thing about a year ago, but we had some issues with the clearance and everything, but we got that handled. So we remaking the beat, you know what I'm saying? First time we're saying it publicly. Got 24 Hours. Little Baby, J.O. from New York. It's about to go crazy. Professional podcast exclusive.
That's a fire exclusive. I appreciate that too, man. I appreciate that too. But I'm glad you made it out of here and you're doing your thing out there in LA, man. When I started this podcast last month, I was like, man, you know what? I got so much to talk about, and I feel like, I got so many friends that are doing so many things and got so many good ideas, and everybody's different. Everybody brings something different to the table. That's what's good about having versatile friends, man. And, real quick about the whole friend status. Like, I feel like if somebody's your friend, you don't gotta talk to them every single day. You stay in
Right.
touch, and when you talk to somebody and you feel like you ain't gotta spend hours catching up because you peep what each other is doing, but at the same time you don't need to talk to each other every day to get the memo that you guys are homies. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. No, I love that, bro. I think that's the adult mentality, because we have people that's our age that's still not mentally adults. I ain't trying to talk shit about nobody or nothing, but it's the truth. And I think the fact that you could say that and when everyone's going their separate ways, but still like a team, if that makes sense, then everyone goes out and finds their niche, Then that's like your niche is now podcasting. So now you have a means where you can invite artists or friends or businessmen or anybody to come have a platform to come talk to you and come talk about whatever they feel like they want to talk about. And that's just as important as anybody, who's doing anything in this world. So it's like, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and I feel like a lot of people don't have that means. And I think with the versatility of that, like you said, and then with the friends, all the friends together, we can really make something big. And it's if we stick together and be smart and use our resources. And like you said, man, tap in every couple months, man. How you doing? What's going on? Did you got? I might have this sponsorship for you, bro. Let's tap in. Let me link you with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Having good friends like that can help you without, saying you having to ask because they believe in it too. That's what friends are too. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's very important. And a lot of people don't have a lot of those, but it's quality over quantity too, bro.
Yeah, and you gotta have, I feel like not anything you do in life, because there's a lot of shit you gotta do on your own. But as far as the business aspect goes, you need a team. It don't have to be a huge team, but you need a couple loyal people that you could trust and network with. Because unless you got major money behind you, you could do it on your own. If you got major money, yeah, you could pretty much do it on your own, but you're gonna spend a lot of your money and a lot of your time. And your time, as you get older, you understand time is money. And the more time you put in something, the more money you want to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? So if you start having a team and you start having people that'll help you save time and you can still get the quality of your work that you want to put in done, there's no price on time. I would
Facts.
say that, that's an exclusive Jason Barone quote right there. There's no price on time.
Facts, priceless. And let me tell you one thing. That's another professional, exclusive phrase. I learned just from a millionaire and from a billionaire because I've met a billionaire guy. He owns this company called General Monster, and it's a huge, huge worldwide brand. They do like eyeglasses and stuff. He said, he said, you know what millionaires think of? I said, what? He said, money. He said, you know what billionaires think of? I said, what? He said, time. What's more valuable? Billionaires value time more than money. Millionaires value money more than time. That's why millionaires are stuck in millionaires, and that's why billionaires are billionaires because they make money. Like let's circle back to Warren Buffett. You think that motherfucker getting up and doing any type of work? Nope. He waking up, checking his accounts, checking his money flow, having his coffee at 5 in the morning. He done with his day by 2 o'clock because he doesn't have to work anymore because he values time. And now all the time he put in when he was younger, he even said too. He talked about Bill Gates. He goes, me and Bill have conversations. He said he valued software. I valued money. So he said or no, he said he loved software. I loved money. He said they both ended up doing great for us. But he said, and he wishes he would have started earlier in caring about investing in money and stuff. So he said, and he was, there's more to that, and you can, we can talk more about, or you can tell them check out the video, look it up or whatever. But what I was getting back to was the time is priceless, bro. Billionaires value time, so that if the richest people value time, that should be what we all value because that's a clear cut formula on success. Like this worked. Like this is a man who has a multi-billionaires telling you this is what I valued and this is what I did to get here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if you just go look, bro, like you're a knowledgeable person, you look for research. It's like people like us that go search and search. We may not be rich right now and have the answers, but as we continue to grow mentally and continue to look for research and look for stuff, we're eventually going to get into a spot like that where we're gonna make the right move and the right thing, and it's gonna be a huge move. You know what I'm saying? And then we can sit there and each one teach one, and that's important in this life too. You know, it's like giving knowledge and passing it on. You're only as great as the next person you make great. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's fire. I appreciate the advice, man. You know, and you start hanging around people with money, you know, you eventually gonna come into some money, man, because you see what kind of moves they making, and you try to make the same moves. So, you know, it's a learning. Life is a learning process, man. You know, we're not we're not old, but we ain't too young anymore. So, trying to start making moves to set us up for the future. You know, but it's good to see you progressing out there, man. Hey, real quick, while we on the whole subject, shout out your IG and all that real quick. Tell the people about your studio, how they can get in contact with you, and do a little self promoting real quick.
I appreciate that, bro. Hey, it's Instagram is Randalldiditt with 3 T's because my account got hacked. So we started all over. So anybody that wants to follow, I appreciate it. We started back from the ground zero again. So I appreciate that. And then it's Randalldiditt on Twitter. Those two are the only two I really use. The studio page is ADV Studio 7 on Instagram. You can book through there. You can DM me. You can DM that. We're out here in North Hollywood, right off the 134. So we're right here, right by Universal Studios. You know, we're in a prime location. So if you come out, do some music, you got other attractions that's right around the area. You know, it's we locked and loaded, ready to go. So tap in. You know, even if you just have songs you need mixed, you could just tap in and you could send the sessions. We could do it that way. I still work with some people from Florida. They just send me the records and we knock it out that way. So it's all possible, man. You don't have to be in LA to work. So
You
do it
heard
that way.
that? All musicians, all rappers, anything. Send your sessions to Rand Did It so he can mix it, master it, and send it back to you. He ain't gonna do it for free. He ain't gonna do it for free, but he ain't gonna beat you over the head either, man. You know, we all trying to
That's
come
right.
up, man. So, you know, if you out there and you listening and you thinking, man, you know what I'm saying? Or like, man, it's so easy nowadays too because all you gotta get yourself a MacBook. You know, if you're trying to be a rapper or a musician or whatever, and you ain't got a lot, then you know what? Find you a quiet spot, get you a MacBook, or even a MacBook like me. I copped a MacBook Air to start my podcast. Get you a mic off Amazon. $100. You might be $500-$600 invested total. You can start recording things and sending it out there. It might not be the best sound quality, but that's why you get an engineer to mix and master it for you, and bam, you know you could do it on your own. You could do it in your house now. You know, like you was telling me last time, you got your own little thing set up right here at your house because it makes time more valuable, especially with that LA traffic, man. Because I know that's
Yeah,
got to be crazy.
dog. You know, most people in Florida, it's like you see, because I'm from there. I would drive to Orlando. It'd be like 30 miles, 35 minutes. Here is 5 miles, 25 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you really have to plan your day ahead and then plan which way you're gonna go. You know, so it's not just like anywhere else. It's not like, oh, just get in the car, go to work, blah blah blah. You know, everything out here has to be thought out. Everything's expensive, so you know everything has to be thought out, and it's better to have someone. Just what we talked about last time, bro. Is like you asked me if you what would be some advice for if someone's trying to come make a move from their hometown, and it's like go with somebody, believe in yourself, make sure you have a little bit of money, do your research in advance, try to lock in a place before you get there. You know, it's like just do a little diligence, bro, and it's not just make the leap and start and come out here. There's so much opportunity that way more than your hometown. You know, I don't care where you're from, unless you're from New York City. There's way more opportunities in LA than any other city, and I've been to every state but 2 states in this country, bro. And it's better than every place you can be, like opportunity wise for any business, not just music. Like it's LA, man. Every hub is out here. You go, you see Blizzard, you see CBS, you see every video games, uh, every hub, video games to music to TV shows to biggest business, bro. Like everything is out here. So whatever your aspiration is, just come. Just like New York, come out here. And if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? That's my advice on that topic.
Yeah, man, and I agree with that too, man. And things are just crazy the way they are in today, but I feel like if you want to make it, you're gonna make it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, absolutely. And here's another piece of inspiration. Like I started to go to school for music, but I only did. I mean, I did all my prereqs and stuff, but I only did probably 2 music classes, so I don't have a college degree in this, and I'm working with the big dogs. So it's like if you like Jason said, if you wanna learn something and you wanna do it, you're gonna figure it out. Unless there's only a couple jobs I feel like you need a degree for, like that's medical and law. You know what I'm saying? Those 2 places, of course, you got to just a lot of studying, and you're dealing with people's freedom and people's lives. That I think you need proper schooling for. But to run a business, you don't. It's just like if you've hustled in the streets, it's the same thing. You find clientele, you find a location, you have to have something to sell, and you have to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? So it's all the same game, bro. It really is. It's just either scaled up, amplified, or the only thing that's the variable is the thing you chose to do. And other than that, all concepts are the same. And if you go in there with a mindset of not what does what, but how does what do what, if that makes sense. The how instead of the why. So like if you know how something works instead of why it's working that way, then you'll make your own why it works, because now you know how to make it manipulate, do this, do that, do that. Like with engineering, for example. Like I didn't know shit when I first started, bro. Like we were like our sound wasn't that great when me and you was starting to work, but we were both still learning. We were both still figuring it out. But I learned how to do it the right way. Then I could be like, oh, if I want it to sound almost distorted on purpose, I can do it in a sonically pleasing way instead of it just sound like, you know what I mean? So like Kanye does that a lot. He does distortion, like it sounds like his voice is like screaming, but it's not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
By
got
that effect. Yeah, so it's like those things. That's a manipulation of something that's supposed to be bad. Like distortion's supposed to be not good, but if you find a way to make it good in a good way, that's just from knowing how it works. You get what I'm saying? So I think knowing the how is more important than the what. We could get more deeper than that, but that's the basis of it. It's knowing how something works instead of why it works. You know what I mean?
I got you. All right, now let's move on. Let's move on from the life talk and all that, and let's get into the goat talk. We
Yeah.
talked about we were gonna have a goat talk. And I'll let you start the goat conversation with who you think is the GOAT of basketball, LeBron or Jordan.
How much time do we have? How much? Can I make this 3 minutes? I'm trying to knock this into 3 minutes.
We got like 7 minutes left.
Fuck. All right. So before I used to think it was Jordan. Now I think it's LeBron. Not because of course Jordan went 6-0 in the finals, but the Bulls went 6-0. Jordan didn't go 6-0. He had a team. He had a great team. He had some of the best players at their positions at the time, the best coach at the time. The league wasn't that great or athletic. Him and Pippen were some of the most athletic guys the NBA has ever seen up to that point. Dr. J and Dominique, couple guys, but you know those 2 guys were like the new prototype of the new league going forward. Not to take from them or their greatness, but they were the first guys of their time in that era. So it's like cool. Now to the finals, why I say that is Jordan played 7 Hall of Famers in the finals. LeBron's played 22 and counting, because he may or may not go back. But he's the first guy with 30,000 points, the only guy ever. 30,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. The only guy ever. That's everybody. That's Magic. That's everybody. Jordan, nobody did that. He has 4 championships. He's about to be second all time in scoring. He's leading the NBA in scoring right now at 36. You know what I'm saying? In his what, 18 year, 19 year? He's the only guy ever to win a Finals MVP and a championship on 3 different franchises. I don't know if you knew that too. Um, when Jordan left, I mean when LeBron leaves a team, they go from first to last. The time Jordan retired, the first time, that team only lost 2 more games the next year and lost in the Eastern Conference Finals by only 1 game. They had, it was a series was tied and they lost the last game to take them to the finals. So that tells me Jordan's a great player, but that team and that system he was in was really good. LeBron's never had a top coach ever. He always has rookie coaches. He's never had a coach more than 3 years except Eric Spoelstra, and they went to the finals 4 years in a row and won 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? Then he went 9 times in a row. Jordan ain't even been 9 times, period. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it's like greatness is the ability to replicate and continue. Jordan went 6 times out of 15 years. LeBron's 10 times out of 19 years and still going. So Jordan didn't even go half the time. LeBron's gone half the time and's played more. So it's like there's a lot of, depends on what your idea of greatness is. They're both great. They're both either 1 or 2 in everyone's book. Jordan's first or LeBron's second or LeBron's first and Jordan. You know what I mean? It's no doubt now it's one of them two. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think anybody is wrong, but I just think people need to give LeBron a little more credit in the sense of like literally actually look at his career and really look at it instead of coming from a hate standpoint or say he moved and did this and that. Now you go though, because I know we don't got much time.
Yeah. Let me just be real quick, real time. All right, real quick. So for me, it's Jordan, right? Because Jordan was 6 for 6 in the finals. Never went to a game 7. And that's just crazy to me. He never went to a game 7. The league was different back then. I feel like the league was harder back then. And it's like I was telling you last time. The only thing that I really don't like about LeBron is that he's a flopper. Like somebody bumps him and he acts like he just got knocked out. Like that stuff is just crazy. But I'm not throwing no shade on LeBron otherwise. He's one of the greatest players of all time. I'll give him that. Even though one of his championships was in the bubble. But
Yes.
I still give it to him. You know, he did go on a lot of teams. Jordan only did on one team. But this is a thing that a lot of people don't think about. Remember, Jordan was out of the league for a couple years because me personally, I think they forced him out of the league because it's gambling. Because it's gambling debt. But think about it. If Jordan never left the league, maybe he has 8 rings, 9 rings. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think from like what, 92 to 2000, he won 6 rings.
Yeah, like 90 to 96 is where they
in one decade he won 6 rings.
They did 3, he missed a year, then they did 3. Or he missed a year and a half, then they did 3. So 6 and 7 years, like that is crazy. That is crazy. But, you know, let's look at Bill Russell. He had 12 rings and he had 11 rings in 12 years. And no one ever says anything about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
I think nobody ever says nothing about it because all the people that actually really watched him and played is like before technology, bro.
Yeah, there was only like
no disrespect to the older heads out there listening. I'm just playing around. But
yeah, there was only like 8 teams in the NBA too then. So it's like, you know what I mean? It was only going to be one of 8 teams that was going to make
and for us it's LeBron and Jordan. But for like my kids or for, you know, the next generation, it could be somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
could be
you
Luka
never know.
And Giannis, you know?
Yep. So,
bro,
all
Giannis,
right.
Though, one more before we go.
Go ahead.
Giannis, bro. Giannis.
The Greek freak.
Like,
he's a beast.
That dude, if he stays how he is and gets a little jump shot, we might be talking about him as the best player ever.
Yeah, he is a beast. All right, bro. So before we end the show, I'm gonna ask you a real quick question that you can answer. And my question to you is, what is your definition of hustle?
I like that. You know, definition of hustle is the ability to, when things don't look good, to keep going and believe in yourself. And, you know, it's not always about money, because you don't get money every day. You get money every day, but it may not be the money you want, or like you spoke about, the more you put time into something, the more you want money from it. So the hustle is, for me, is like getting up, being consistent, and staying focused on your goal, whatever your goal is. And work towards that. Like Nipsey said, lay a brick every day, you'll build a wall eventually. So, you know what I mean? I think that's the foundation. As long as you're making forward progress, that's hustling. You know what I mean? For you, look at what you're doing, bro. We met each other in Deltona High School. Pine Ridge High School. Neither of us had an idea of what we was gonna really do. You know, we had aspirations, but you hustle. You got a house. You got kids. You got a family. You got a podcast now. You know what I'm saying? You're cruising. You're cruising and you're progressing. So it's like, that's the hustle. That's what I think hustling is. What about you? I want to hear what you got to say about that.
Man, I think hustle is somebody who's never gonna give up, who's never gonna quit on their dream, who always gonna strive to be better, who always is gonna be hungry. No matter how good or bad they got it, they're gonna stay hungry. They're gonna stay positive. And keep it pushing, man. Keep it moving, because the world ain't gonna stop spinning for you. You know, stop feeling sorry for yourself. You're out there feeling sorry for yourself. You down. You feeling depressed. You feeling anxious. Find something that works, man. For me, I get anxious as shit. You know what works for me? I get my ass in the gym, man, and I push it and I push and I push until I'm wore out. And it's good for my mind. It's good for my body. And that's just how I handle things, man. And that's what hustle is, man. Hustle is somebody who doesn't give up, who follows their damn dreams, and keeps it pushing.
I love that, bro. I love that. I like that you said the self-pity thing. You know, the poor me thing is like a disease, bro. And I think people need to really like hone in on that. Like, you can't feel sorry for yourself, bro, because no one else is going to. No one else, people care, but no one cares about you more than they do themselves, and they shouldn't, because that's just unrealistic. You know what I mean? So it's like, with that in mind, it's like, be valuable, bring value to the table, bring value to every room you're in, and you'll always. That's what hustle is too for me too. Let's add on to that. And it's like, bring value to every room you're in, and there's no way you can fail, bro, because you're valuable. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, you are valuable out there. And now it's time for my favorite part of the show, bro. I ask all my guests at the end of the show to give their best bro for the Staying Professional podcast.
Bro,
That's what I'm talking about, bro. Hey, real quick, I didn't even get to touch on this real quick, but I want to give a shout out to Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, all his family. Dude's probably going to pass. He's on life support. I just want to say RIP to a legend. Man. I grew up watching this guy, man. And real quick, the last thing, shout out your IG real quick.
Randalldiditt with 3 T's.
Randalldiditt with 3 T's on IG, man. And don't forget to follow The Staying Professional Podcast on IG and follow it on YouTube. Subscribe, like it. And we're going to post this video later today so y'all can all hear it, man. I want to thank Randal, man. I want to thank him so much for being on my show, man, taking the time out to do that. I appreciate that, man. And that's it.
Thank you, bro.
The Staying Professional Podcast, where we staying professional one day at a time. Later, kid.
Later.